Now, the thing that's hard for all of us, me too, is when we get into a pickle. So like some sort of financial biggie hits, or we're in some sort of jam, and it triggers survival stuff like, okay, now the rent is due, or I got this surprise bill. And then we start to do that spin, which is from if you're just sitting with a friend, and from that perspective, it's understandable why that spin is occurring. Now here comes the inner mastery piece, right, Mary? Because if we're committed to the mastery path and to alchemy and to being serious about Jungian work and shadow work, this is our holy shit opportunity to master that energetic container in which the crisis is occurring.
Absolutely.
And that's so key. And I'm pretty sure, and maybe I don't do a lot of hardly any work around money, but maybe I have this gut feeling that when we intend to really, really take this seriously, that it's almost as though there will for sure be curveballs thrown at you.
Absolutely.
There will for sure be, you can count on it. Almost.
Absolutely.
Because when I talk to people who are on this journey and are really serious about shadow work and psychological work, there is, and it's almost like there is, I hate to use the word test, but it's almost guaranteed that you'll be like, what? And you'll be at that point where it's like, but my vision board, and I was compassionate, and yada, yada, yada. And okay, there's your opportunity to get that energy. It's the energetic recalibration of spin.
Absolutely. And I love how you put that, Karen. That's
right.
Exactly what it is. It's that
right.
recalibration of the spin.
Yeah.
And you talked about, the idea of using some of those tools for visioning, like a vision board, and they are wonderful because they tap into those parts of our brain that know that, the vision is already fulfilled. But as you've highlighted, when we step forward with that kind of intentionality, what happens is all of the unconscious programs that oppose that vision come up to be released. And what I've learned the hard way through a lot of grief, but
you wouldn't learn it the easy way.
Exactly, is to understand that, to not react to that, to not get thrown off balance when that happens, and not to place some other kind of distorted interpretation onto it. That, for example, like some of the programming are like, I'm not doing this the right way, or what's wrong. And that's where the frustration comes up, right? And instead be just compassionate and sit with it, and just that whole practice of witnessing is powerful in itself, because that's what helps to stop the spin. That's one of the tools that can help to stop the spin, because you learn to stop reacting to all of that upheaval that comes up when you're wanting to create a vision.
Wow. Yeah. Beautifully said. Yeah. Neat. Okay. I'm just going to look in the Q&A.
Sure.
Many opportunities to choose again and again and again. And yeah, and what you said about that, your unconscious programming will come up. It's like those of us in the group who do parts work or internal family systems work. There are parts that will, I can't remember how you worded it, Mary, but in opposition to your intention. So they will come up. And like Miranda's saying, those opportunities will come again and again and again to observe and respond differently energetically.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Joelle has a question in the question, so I'm just going to look here. She had to get my attention. Joelle is saying, it is because money is equated with values. Can you see the Q&A, Mary?
I cannot,
Yeah,
so.
I'll read it out. Is it because money is equated with value, worth, importance, and are we projecting our lack of the above? And is that what keeps us from prosperity consciousness? So that's a lot. So I'll read it again because you can't see it. So she's saying, is it because money is equated with value, worth, importance, right? And so because of that, are we then projecting our lack of value, worth, importance? And is this what keeps us from prosperity consciousness?
Is it Joelle?
Joelle. Joelle in BC.
Yeah, Joelle, that is an awesome question. And I can say from my experience, there can be many things that I call polarity patterns that can affect our ability to express prosperity consciousness. And what you have cited is definitely some of there's some of the polarity patterns, like the whole issue of worth and value, and the polarity around that of feeling worthy or worthless. And this is the spin that goes on. So it's very unconscious, but we can absolutely project this out onto money. And that is something that is inherent in the collective as well, because there's so much conditioning, and this is how we've actually contaminated money, by equating it with our own personal worth. And when we start to learn how to detach from defining our worth according to money, that's part of the journey of freeing ourselves and developing a prosperity consciousness. And I would add, reclaiming money for the divine.
Wow, I love that.
Reclaiming the purity of money, because there's so much garbage that has been projected onto money, that money actually has its origins with the divine. And that is such a foreign concept to most of us, because we've been alienated from that understanding.
Oh my golly. Yeah, reclaiming money as divine.
Yeah.
Yeah. How often do we do that?
And when money's divine, there's just this purity in our relationship with it. You know, there's none of the drama or the contamination
it is
some of these patterns onto it.